Hey, what it do, Sports World? Welcome to the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about that Jim Harbaugh. All right, as you all know, the Michigan Wolverines finally won their first national championship since 1997. And Jim Harbaugh was basically a big reason why. And I'm going to explain to you all what's next for Jim Harbaugh and what I think is next for him and why I think it's next for him. All right. But listen, before I get started, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. And also make sure y'all give me a comment in the comment section. I'm going to make this right here. I'm not going to talk too long, but I will say this right here. Thank you all for all the likes. Thank you all for all the views. I really appreciate it. I know that I've been out of the loop for a while, but I'm about to go ahead and get back into it. I'm about to go ahead and take this thing to the next level. I finally got to my new place, so now I'm pretty much getting used to that, and I'm gonna be able to make more content. Okay, and it's the NFL playoffs, so I'm going to be talking about that, the NBA, why I think what's going on in the NBA, but I'm going to really be talking a lot about college basketball and college football. But hey, let's go ahead and jump into this. What's next for Jim Harbaugh after winning the college football championship? As you all know, the college football playoff was last week. Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan Wolverines, finally won their first national championship, and why I think now Jim Harbaugh needs to do and what I think he will do is two different things. Okay, what I think Jim Harbaugh really want to do, I think Jim Harbaugh want to go back to the NFL. Now he's going to have an interview coming up with the Chargers, and why I think that the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh is a match made in heaven, because I think Jim Harbaugh will have a quarterback. He will have the perfect quarterback that he can groom. Okay, he will have Justin Herbert. He will have weapons. He have Eckers. He will have Mike Williams. He will have, he will have receivers. He have a pretty good tight end, a good offensive line. He have a really good, good defense. That is the reason why I think the LA Chargers would be the first, the ideal place for Jim Harbaugh. And you can go to the Chargers and just imagine if he goes to the Chargers, change this franchise and win a Super Bowl. If Jim Harbaugh does that, Jim Harbaugh goes down as one of the greatest coaches, meaning he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. If he does that, because if you all remember, Jim Harbaugh left. Now, let me pull up some stats for you all when it comes to Jim Harbaugh. But because Jim Harbaugh is a known winner, and honestly, right now he's already one of the greatest coaches ever, in my opinion. Because the man is a winner and he's a winner. When we talk about Jim Harbaugh, I don't think people know that Jim Harbaugh has turned around multiple colleges. Before he got to Michigan, he was pretty much just regular, and now that he's at Michigan, his first couple of years at Michigan, he wasn't winning. He wasn't winning how they wanted him to win. But then he pretty much changed all this around. So let me pull up the stats for this man right here. When it comes to Jim Harbaugh, because when he first went to Michigan, this man right here was pretty much I'm gonna be honest, they was talking about firing him at one point because he couldn't beat Ohio State. He was 0-6 against Ohio State. The last 3 years, he's undefeated against Ohio State. 3 Big Ten championships and a national championship. So that pretty much tells you how far this university have come with Jim Harbaugh at the helms. Now let's talk about it. Man, this man right here in 2007, he went to Stanford. When he got to Stanford, they was 4-8. His first year, he was 4-8. Then they was 5-7. And next thing you know, they was 8-5. And then they was 12-1. Okay. Then, he goes to the NFL. And what did he do? He get a quarterback named Colin Kaepernick. And what did him and Colin Kaepernick create? They pretty much created the zone read. And what did they do? They was maybe a pass interference away from winning a Super Bowl. So that pretty much tells you how good this man is. And he changed the San Francisco 49ers around when he pretty much put in Colin Kaepernick. He put Colin Kaepernick in as the starting quarterback, and they went up from there. Next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl, and they lose on a call that should have been called pass interference, but it wasn't. Then he goes back to Michigan. He goes to Michigan and he was there since 2015. What did he do his first year? He went 10-3, 10-3. Then in 2017, he went 8-5. Then he went 10-3 again. Then 2019, he went 9-4. Then in 2020, it was that was the COVID year. He pretty much went 2-4. But then after that, 2021, they was 12-2. 22, they was 13-1. As you all know, what game that they lost was to TCU in a game that they should have won. What did he do this season in 2023? They went 15-0. They defeated Alabama. They defeated Washington. They defeated Ohio State. They have a lot of players that's getting ready to go to the NFL. This right here was one of the greatest seasons in college football history, and it was by Jim Harbaugh. So that's why I say, do Jim Harbaugh stay? Yes, if he stays at Michigan, they're going to still be a powerhouse again next season, even when they're losing their starting quarterback with J.J. McCarthy. They still have a lot of great players that's coming back. They're going to still be good on the defensive side of the ball. They are one of the best defenses in college football. So if he comes back, they're still going to be a hell of a team. But if he goes to the NFL, say like he goes to the Chargers, the Chargers can pretty much already become what he turned the 49ers into. You see? But like people say, Jim Harbaugh, he wears out his time because he's hard. He's a grinding coach. So he grinds on the players. And with the players in college, the players in college football right now, it's going to be hard. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to the Chargers as well. So, I think that he might go to the Chargers as well. And I think that's a match made in heaven. Like I said, that's a match made in heaven, him and the Chargers. Because what do you got? Is you kind of like he falling right back into that San Francisco 49er. When he went to the San Francisco 49ers, like they had good players. But, this is a little bit different. They have the defensive backs. They got the defense. They have the Joey Bosa's. They have the offense, the wide receivers. They have the running backs, the quarterback. He have everything. The only thing they're missing is a hard coach. And that is the reason why I say, I honestly feel, I'm going to say this right here. I honestly feel whatever Jim Harbaugh does, it's a win for him. It's a win-win situation. If he goes to the Chargers, it's a win. If he stays at Michigan, it's a win. So honestly, I think that it's a win-win. But I think, this is what I think. I think that Jim Harbaugh wants to win a Super Bowl because that's going to be the icing on the cake. Yes, that's going to be that cream icing on the cake because he's going to be able to say this. I went to college, I won a national championship, I came to the NFL, and I won a Super Bowl. So that is the thing that I think that Jim Harbaugh is chasing. And honestly, if he does that, now I want y'all to tell me this. If Jim Harbaugh does that, if he goes to the NFL, goes to the Chargers, let's say the Chargers, and he wins a Super Bowl within his first 2 or 3 seasons, do you put Jim Harbaugh up there with the elite coaches? Do you put him up there with the Hall of Fame greats, that coach the game? Do you put him up there with the top one? Because Pete Carroll is one of the ones that actually won a college championship and also won a Super Bowl. Do you put him up there with the echelon coaches? I think you do. He's a winner. Look at what he did at Stanford. He changed Stanford around in 4 years. Look what he did at Michigan. He changed Michigan around in 3-4 years. Look at what he did with the 49ers. He changed them around. That is the reason why I say you have to put him up there with the greats if he goes to the NFL and he wins a Super Bowl. But I think that Jim Harbaugh, honestly, I feel that his heart is in Michigan. I feel that his heart is in Ann Arbor. It won't surprise me if he stays at Michigan, but it also won't surprise me if he goes to the Chargers. But I think that the Chargers is the most idle place for him to go to because of everything is in place for him. When you look at the Raiders, everything is not in place with the Raiders. The Raiders don't have a quarterback. They don't have a Justin Herbert. So I think that that's the reason why I say the Chargers have, I think they have the best chance to steal Jim Harbaugh from the Michigan Wolverines. But I think he's going to give Michigan a chance to match whatever. And that's why I say I think next season we might be seeing him back on the sideline in Ann Arbor. I think that we will. But like I said before, I think it's a win-win wherever he goes to, whatever team he goes, wherever he chooses to stay in Michigan or he chooses to go to the LA Chargers. It's a win-win for him. Jim Harbaugh right now, he's chasing greatness. And I think that the NFL is what's going to solidify his legacy by winning a Super Bowl, because he knows he was so close to winning the Super Bowl one time before. And I think that itch, that is what's going to pull him back to the NFL if he decides to go. Hey, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. Hey, and let me know what you all think about this segment and what you all think that Jim Harbaugh is going to do. Tell me. I see one person here, Quinn Hems. Quinn says that he's a Charger. Quinn, I agree with you. Maybe he may be a Charger. And like I said, what you think? Do you think that if he, goes back to Michigan, I think, like I said, what you all think? I think it's a win-win whatever he does. All right. But hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. And hey, Quinn, we can also have this conversation. If you ever want to come on, just let me know. I can always bring you on and we can have this conversation on what you all think he's going to do. Hey, and also make sure y'all have a safe week. There's a lot of snow. So make sure y'all safe travels and they have a great week, y'all. Until next time on the Real Untouchable Podcast with Ray Diggs. Hey, y'all, thanks for watching again and have a great week, y'all. Peace.